11th करो, 12th करो, फिर ग्रेजुएशन करो, फिर ये है जब whenever you have an idea, you have conviction, you can do startup. लेकिन एक मुझे क्या लगता है, when we were studying, एक वर्ड होता था, आपका बच्चा क्या कर रहा है, लोग बोलते थे वो इंजीनियरिंग की तैयारी कर रहा है, आपका बच्चा क्या कर रहा है, वो MBBS की तैयारी कर रहा है, आपका बच्चा क्या कर रहा है, वो MBA की तैयारी कर रहा है. इंडिया में एक नई चीज़ नहीं शुरू होनी चाहिए, हमारा बच्चा स्टार्टअप कर रहा है, कोई प्रेशर नहीं होना चाहिए उस पर कि तुम स्टार्टअप फाउंडर बनो. तो आई थिंक इससे मुक्त होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. मुझे लगता है इसमें क्या होगा, लोग जोश में लगेंगे, 15-20 लाख रुपया कैपिटल ख़राब कर लेंगे, सोचेंगे बाद में. एंड आई इंटरेक्टेड विद सम ऑफ यू, दैट वाज माय फीलिंग. मैंने शुभम को बोला, शुभम एक काम करो, एक अच्छा सा नेटवर्क बनाओ सीनियर लीडर्स का, लोगों से फीस लो 1 लाख 1.5 लाख रुपया, ताकि वो सीरियस हो, उनको बोलो इनको कंसल्ट करके फिर पैसे वेस्ट करो. बिकॉज द कैपिटल प्रिजर्वेशन इज़ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. तो 11th-12th के बच्चों को अनलेस एंड अनटिल दे हैव अ क्रैक ऑफ एन आइडिया, उनको नहीं करना चाहिए. 18 ईयर्स तो वोटिंग की एज है मेरे ख्याल से, तब तक रेस्ट होना चाहिए लाइफ में. तो आई डोंट थिंक कोई ऐसा रश है. दूसरा आपने बोला ब्रांड बनाना कितना मुश्किल या ईजी है. पहले क्या होता था, लाइफ का एक शेड्यूल था, 9 बजे खाना होता था, 8 बजे पूरा परिवार टीवी के आसपास बैठता था, सब 8:40 पे न्यूज़ देखते थे, 8 बजे चित्रहार देखते थे, रामायण आती थी, वहाँ जिस प्रोडक्ट की ऐड आती थी वो ब्रांड बन जाता था. अभी घर में जितने लोग होते हैं उतनी तो डिशेस बनती हैं. कोई 6 बजे खा रहा है, कोई 7 बजे खा रहा है, कोई 8 बजे खा रहा है, कोई इंस्टाग्राम पे इस फॉलोअर को फॉलो कर रहा है, कोई उसको कर रहा है. तो ब्रांड बिल्डिंग बहुत मुश्किल हो गई है. इट हैज़ नॉट बिकम so building a brand has become very difficult, but building a brand in micro catchment is very easy. अभी आपको रांची में स्टूडेंट्स के लिए ब्रांड बनाना है, अगर आपको रांची में IIT की तैयारी करते हुए जो 3rd अटेम्प्ट करते हैं उनका भी एक इन्फ्लुएंसर मिल जाएगा. तो आप उस इन्फ्लुएंसर को पकड़िए, वो आपको उस कैचमेंट में प्रोडक्ट बेच देगा. सो आई थिंक दैट्स द वे एवरीथिंग हैज चेंज्ड.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you so much, sir. I know there are few more questions, but we are running a little tight with in respect of time. However, you guys can interact with Kamaldeep, sir. We'll make sure that you get a chance to interact and ask your questions. Thank you so much for coming here, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Now, going forward, we have a very interesting panel of founders who have built successful companies, someone who have built and scaled companies. Thank you. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. तो सर ने एक बहुत ही अच्छी बात कही कि ऐसा सिचुएशन आना चाहिए कि हमारे जो पेरेंट्स हैं वो एक्सेप्ट कर ले कि हमारा बच्चा स्टार्टअप कर रहा है. तो इंडिया में तो ये बात सही है कि जैसे ही आप स्टार्टअप का नाम लेते हैं 100 सवाल ऐसे ही उठ जाते हैं. क्यों करना है स्टार्टअप, क्या होगा, सैलरी कितनी मिलेगी. सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस दैट कम विद द वर्ड स्टार्टअप. तो बहुत सारे लोग इस डर से भी, जो हमने पहले भी बात की थी, जो हमारे जो सर हैं उन्होंने भी बताया था कि यू नीड टू लिसन टू योर हार्ट, बट यू आर नॉट एबल टू डू इट बिकॉज देर आर लॉट ऑफ प्रेशर्स दैट वी आर फेसिंग टुडे. सो येस, वी आर वर्किंग टूवर्ड्स बिल्डिंग द फ्यूचर दैट कमलदीप सर सेड राइट नाउ, जहाँ पेरेंट्स, फैमिली, हर कोई खुशी के साथ एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं कि दैट मेरा बच्चा स्टार्टअप कर रहा है. So thank you so much, sir. And next we have a panel discussion. मानिक सर, इफ़ यू आर हियरिंग माई वॉइस, आई रिक्वेस्ट यू कि आप स्टेज पे आ जाएं. मे आई प्लीज़ रिक्वेस्ट मानिक सर टू कम अप ऑन द स्टेज. And for the panel discussion, I would like to request Ms. Pooja Jaiswal ma'am, Mr. Kiran Babu sir, Mr. Abhinav Shah sir, Ms. Moshmi Ambasta ma'am, and Mr. Manu Kumar, please request all our panel discussion guests to come up on the stage. And I once again request Manik sir, if you can come up on the stage. Can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for all our panel discussion guests? So it is my honor to welcome all of you to this Startup Summit. And I'd like to take a moment to introduce all our guests for the day. Sir and ma'am, we are really honored to have you with us today. And this is the need of the hour, that we need mentorship, we need guidance, and we need mentors and visionary leaders like you who are there to guide the young minds. So our first guest, Ms. Pooja Jaiswal ma'am, is the advisory board member of Startup Jharkhand and co-founder and CEO of Last Mile Care. So India's workforce plays the country's growth, yet millions of blue-collar workers still lack access to structured healthcare. Pooja Jaiswal ma'am is set out to change that. As the co-founder and COO of Last Mile Care, she has spent years building affordable solutions, healthcare solutions for workers and their families. With partnerships spanning Tata Steel, OYO, USAID, Honda India Foundation, and several global institutions, her work is proving that impact and scale can go hand in hand. Yes. So let's welcome Moshmi ma'am as well up on the stage. And once again, I request Manik sir, if you can hear me, please come up on the stage. So I would like to request Manik sir to please felicitate Pooja ma'am. Can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? We are really honored, ma'am, to have you with us today. Now, our next guest, Mr. Kiran Babu, from working on Google Wallet to building AI-powered products in India. Kiran Babu's journey reflects the evolution of technological entrepreneurship today. As the founder of Rava AI and a mentor across some of India's leading startup ecosystem, Sir works closely with founders who are building the next generation of companies. His experience spans technology, innovation, growth, and startup scale. So may I please request Manik sir to once again felicitate our Kiran Babu sir, and can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? We are really honored to have you with us here today, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Next, we have Abhinav Shah, sir. Building a company is difficult. Building a 100 crore company from Ranchi is a completely different challenge. Abhinav Shah, sir, left a successful corporate career, returned home, and started Awesome Dairy with a simple vision and a handful of resources. That journey went through failures, near bankruptcies, fundraising battles, and eventually it rose as one of the most successful startup stories of Jharkhand. Today, he continues to build and inspire a new generation of entrepreneurs. So we are really honored to have you with us today. So ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Abhinav Shah, sir. And may I please request Manik, sir, to felicitate, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now we have Moshmi Ambastha ma'am with us. Some founders build successful companies. Others build ecosystems that help more founders succeed. Moshmi ma'am has done both. As the co-founder of Zapscale and former co-founder of ThreadSoul, she has built products with global impact while actively mentoring entrepreneurs across India. Through her work with the Shifu Foundation, she continues to campaign founders emerging from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. So ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome Ms. Moshmi Ambastha ma'am. And may I please request Manik sir to felicitate ma'am. Ma'am, we are really honored to have you with us today. Now, I'd like to welcome Mr. Manu Kumar sir. He's the moderator for our panel discussion. And few people understand that brand building and startup growth as deeply as Manu Kumar sir. With more than 2 decades of experience across leading global and Indian brands like Airtel, Hero, and years spent mentoring entrepreneurs through organizations like T-Hub and Vadvani Foundation, he has helped countless founders navigate the challenges of building and scaling businesses. Guiding today's founder panel discussion is Mr. Manu Kumar, sir. I request Manik, sir, can you please felicitate sir, Manu, sir, and can we have a huge round of applause in welcome of sir. He's also a mentor at iHub Startup Jharkhand Foundation. Thank you so much, Manik, sir. And the topic for the panel discussion is Founders Panel Discussion, Building Startups That Scale. Because great startups aren't built for where you are. They are built for where the problem exists. Scale isn't a phase you enter later. It is a decision that you make on day one. So once again, a very warm welcome to all our panel discussion guests. And over to Mr. Manu Kumar, sir, to lead the panel discussion.
Hello, hello, yeah. Thank you so. It's a pleasure being.
Check.
It's
Check.
Hello.
Hello.
So thank you so much, and it's a pleasure being here with all the wonderful founders who've built successful, businesses. But one of the things which we all forget, हम लोग ये भूल जाते हैं कि एक फाउंडर के सक्सेस के पीछे बहुत पेन होती है. There is a lot of hard work which is put in, a lot of rejections, lot of pain, lot of work which is put in there. So, without further ado, I would like to ask each one of you, and we can start from you, ma'am, when did that idea and that spark came in? You must be doing something when you actually wanted to start something. So what was that time? What was the idea? What were you thinking at that time? And how did you actually start up?
So my first startup was called ThreadSol. It was a AI-based apparel for apparel industries. I was working as a consultant in apparel industries, and I was working for almost 8-10 years consulting brands and manufacturers in Southeast Asia. And that's when that idea hit. And my co-founder, he's also my husband. He was working in another startup based out of. So both of us were traveling in different parts of the world. We could not meet. So I think we got a little bit crazy and thought that we should do a startup. I think that is where the idea came from, and we started working, and it turned out to be good. We sold the company in 2018 for 100 crores. So good journey, but I think the start was a little mad. If you ask me now, a lot of things that we should have thought, we did not think. But the core thing that we knew was there is a problem and that needed solving. Everything else, of course, we figured out along the way with lots of struggles, as Sir said right now.
So I started my first venture in 2015, so it's almost a decade now. I always wanted to do something of my when I was working, I got a chance to work with quite a few startups. In fact, I joined just before starting my own venture. I joined a startup as a first employee, and that kind of gave me a confidence. And there, I also learned about so many things, how to manage resources and everything about building a startup. However, like right now, I'm running Last Mile Care, which is the second venture of mine. So the journey has been very rocking. So I have loved the entire journey and love like both of my organizations as my own babies, and it's quite an experience for me. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Before I answer, definitely a huge kudos to Shubham, Manik, and Manish for making this happen. This is not easy. You guys have rocked it. Very impressed. Okay, my journey, my first startup I started in 2013. This is like 13 years, I think, from now. My journey was a little unconventional. So I was working in Google in Mountain View. I was a director there. For me, the seed of startup came because when you work for a company like Google, and that too in a head office, you get to rub your shoulders with smartest of the smart people. And the culture of innovation. Google is a startup, even though it's a big company at that time, right? So you definitely have that natural inclination of starting something, but getting out of Google is not an easy decision. There's a lot of opportunity costs to get there. But what I will say is, even when I was remembering, like my last one-on-one with my manager, when I was trying to tell her that, hey, I'm going back to India, I want to start a startup. So like, why are you crazy? Well, what made you get to that decision? So I told I have 5 points that are working in my favor. So because of which I'm making the decision of moving to a startup. Of course, as Pooja mentioned, everybody, it's a pull. Startup is a pull, it's not a push. You have to have that burning pull pull to start something. The 5 things were like, I was young, I didn't have bank loans, my parents were healthy, I was not married, and I have some money. So any one of this variable misfires, I wouldn't have come back. So all those things were working in my favor. So that was like a tailwind. So then I took the leap of starting a startup. And of course, this is my second startup. But as Manu was mentioning, it's a lonely journey, but it helps you discover yourself in a way that's unimaginable. It's a very lonely journey. It's a very painful journey. But if you love to improve, if you love to see what you're made of, what your metal is, startup is the way to do it. That's what I would definitely say. And by end of this session, our goal collectively is to ensure that at least 20% of people who are not yet decided to start a startup should start a startup. That's the goal. Cool, thank you.
Thank you so much. As you rightly said, I think Manik and the entire team has done a fantastic job. I'm a accountant. I am from Ranchi. I started working with EY for about 9 years. I worked with their Delhi, Bangalore, London, Mumbai practices. Last 3 years, I was doing sports taxation. Formula 1 had come into India. IPL was becoming big. And I was completely bored of taxation. I could have done anything in life but tax. And dairy farming then sounded like a very romantic idea to me. So quit my job and set up a dairy farm just outside Ranchi. One thing led to another. And that small dairy farm went on to become a 300 crore business in 10 years' time. Last year, we got acquired by Dodla, a listed dairy company. And I'm back again, building again. This time I'm trying to build an Indian QSR by the name of Dishai. It's just absolutely fun, trying to build your own stuff. I think all of us over here would absolutely agree that despite the challenges that are there to build something, just the fact that you're building something which does not exist before, that's absolutely amazing, and the pain that comes is just worth it. Thank you.
Thanks. So my next question is to you, Pooja. You did not choose an easy, comfortable startup to build. You targeted a cohort which is a difficult cohort to actually target, work. It's more unorganized. So what made you choose get into this healthcare startup, especially for blue-collar workers? And, what was the thought behind it? And what are you doing in that to make it a success?
So my first startup was into skills and livelihood. And the kind of experience I had, the kind of learnings I had in the first start, I was a solo founder there. Journey. So while starting last mile care, one thing I was very clear that I am going to have co-founders with whom I'll build this company, or that is how we envisioned it. We are working into primary and preventive healthcare. So we started working for rural India. The problem is well validated. Everyone, each one of us has witnessed how the primary healthcare infrastructure in the entire country is broken. We saw the load on secondary and tertiary care because there was no primary care available at village levels, even block levels, even in few districts, there are no or properly functional hospitals. So we thought that we should build something around that. The problem was well validated, but the solution also seems very simple. कि एक doctor लगा देंगे, clinic open कर देंगे, and all like that. Similarly, whenever we build on any idea or any problem, like we work on the solution. But here at Last Mile Care, we worked a lot on the problem statement. We understood the base of it. Our entire journey was quite a discovery for us. So we pivoted for 3 times, reiterated the entire model. Right now, we are working for blue and gray collar workforce and we are kind of getting first mover advantage because while on the journey, we discovered that there are no other players who are actually working for them, who has a customized solution for them, who are capturing the entire healthcare journey of blue and grey collar workforce, and the market size is huge. So I can say it was quite disorganized, but now we are working towards organizing it. Thank you.
So, Mosby, coming to you. So, everybody is happy about that 100 crore acquisition, you know. But I think, and that is, you know, everybody talks about one, when founders get funding, and when founders sell, if somebody wants to sell, you know. So those are the celebrated, but I think nobody actually wants to talk about, as I said in the beginning also, the pain, the journey which actually happens to reach that stage in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So, you know, what is the advice which you would like to give to the young people sitting here, young founders, people who want to do startups, etc.? Because, you know, in the journey, I'm sure there would be a lot of time when you yourself would have had self-doubts. There would have been your family, friends, the ecosystem would have said, no, yaar, why don't you do something else? Take up a good job and you will have a happy life. So what was the, you know, motivation, how you actually went ahead and did what you did? So I'm sure people would be happy to hear that.
It's, as you rightly said, right, funding and acquisition are celebrated, and you get a lot of claps like this, which is great. But exactly what you feel is very different. What you feel is just relieved when it happens, because it has always been a very long struggle, one funding, but the effort would have been like 10, 100. For us, the first one was 119 pitches. Different investors, and we pitched, and it took a very long time to finally get our first funding. So same with acquisition, it was a very long journey. So you, end of the day, you actually feel relieved. You should do a startup or not, that's a very personal decision. That's not mine to make for you. But should you experiment with it while working? Yes, absolutely. The world has changed a lot from where we started. We started in 2010-11 to now. It's very, very different, right? So the kind of technology, the kind of things that you have available now, you can actually start experimenting as a solopreneur itself. But I would never advise anyone to take massive risks. Like if you have loans, as he said, you know, if you have loans, if you have other things to do, which are very important for your life, balance it out. Risk, but calculated risk. Not crazy risk. That is not something I suggest. But yes, entrepreneurship is, yes, hugely rewarding. It is highly romanticized. It looks beautiful after many, many years of struggle when you sit on stage like this and see an audience like this. It looks beautiful and easy, but the journey is a little hard. I would suggest you. So my co-founder, Mansid, he's on stage today. He wrote a book on the journey of my first startup. It's called Economy Class Founder. It has no gyan. It has only the stories, the struggles, and things that we went through. So read it in some evening. I think the real taste of what lies ahead is important before you jump into it. Thank you.
Thank you. So Kiran, coming to you. So, you know, you had a great job, okay? Probably so many people, you know, say that agar Google mein job mil jata hai, to matlab, you know, your life is set, you've made in life. So, and you are at a senior position, you are, you know, working in the US, etc. So what was that thing which you saw from inside, which, you know, made you curious and said that, hey, listen, you know, I've had enough and now I want to do a startup. So what I want, you know, you to actually tell the audience here is that what were the steps which you actually took while working at a great job? Because, you know, लोग बोलते हैं कि एक बार आपको salary लग जाती है, salary is like a drug, you know, and if you are in a high paying job, it is extremely difficult कि वो month के पहली तारीख को, first को, when you get that ping कि salary has been credited, it's very, very difficult to actually leave that. So what was that, you know, thing which actually made you do your own stuff?
Got it. So 2-3 points there. So one, it required a lot of clarity about myself and about what do I want, what do I like, what do I not like, and it also requires a bit of madness in terms of trying to take high risk, high reward kind of situations. But see, I'll tell you 2-3 things that really worked out in my favor. I was like a small fish in a very big pond. I'm still a fish, I am surviving, but I wanted to be a big fish in a small pond. So that one level of clarity is important. So that's the first stuff. Second thing, I wanted to do things at scale that a big company doesn't allow you to do it at in a very fast possible way. So that's the second thing. And the third and the most important thing for me, that after a lot of introspection I got to this answer, is you need to be you should not accept the reality as it is. And for me, that is very important. Like, for example, just to contextualize to the audience here, see, entrepreneurs they're very contrarian in their thinking. One of the qualities that a founder should have is not accepting reality as it is. Like, for example, our money, there were days where we had to wait in line to pay our money to get a ticket from a movie, to go to a movie. Kya bakwas hai? It's not like they're giving me money. I am giving money. And saying it's not like Tirupati Darshan, right, where I have to wait in the line and wait as much as possible. Right? But some founder, somebody thought he didn't accept that as a reality. And then they found a Book My Show. Mera paisa, I'm raising a hand, and now the auto guys negotiate in their own terms on getting some stuff to take me from here to there. Somebody was not accepting that reality. Ola and Uber came. So when you have that kind of a hunger to see the world, you don't accept it as it is, and you want to see a better world, you want to create a better world, that's when you try to get into a startup. And for me, that worked out very well, because Google me every other day you do see these kind of things.
Thank you. So coming to you, Abhinav, as I said to Mosmi also, everybody sees that 300 crore exit, That's a huge number. But I think not many people know that you probably were bankrupt a couple of times, okay? Nearly bankrupt, okay? So, it's very challenging when that happens. That to continue after being bankrupt. 2 बार आपके पास कोई पैसा नहीं है, आपके आसपास के लोग बोल रहे हैं कि आप कर क्या रहे हो. And then, having that courage to, build something. So what was again, going through your mind? Did you ever feel कि बस अब हो गया? And you were in a very highly paying job also when you actually quit and started doing this. So क्या मन में ऐसा आया कि, you have to do this?
No, I think you're completely right. There's so many times you feel, this is too tough. And somehow, somewhere, something pulls you and says that, no, you have to keep continuing. One thing for me was, I love Ranchi. Meko Ranchi mein hi rehna tha. And I wanted to build from here. So, going back to a corporate career, that would have been a real travesty for me. मेरे को बहुत बुरा लगता अगर friends, family को छोड़ के मेरे को रांची से बाहर जाना होता. So I think that was a big enough motivation for me to keep continuing, to keep pushing hard. But also, the kind of work that we did then and now, we were 2025 July when we finally sold. I was working with 40,000 different farmers, 16,000 retailers, all geo-fenced, geo-connected, 700 plus direct employees, 2,000 indirect employees. These numbers meant a lot. And, whatever it took to ensure that we could carry on. So somehow that motivation, that drive, that willingness to face difficulties, and quite a lot of them, bankruptcy is one of them. When we started, I think April 2015, the first plant started. And in June 2015, they were firing at the plant, there were antisocial elements. There were so many challenges that we've had to face. as entrepreneurs. And after all of that, and when we were finally selling and we were making that announcement, my co-founder and I, we were just both crying through the entire half an hour when we actually made that announcement. There's this fantastic Steve Martin movie where he's the father of a bride and he gives away the daughter, and in that one scene he's seeing his daughter grow up. It's something similar for us when that final announcement was happening. It was surreal, and we didn't want it to go the way. But I think all founders face it, and the reason we are able to take it is because we are enjoying it. This is what we want to do. There is, it's not that we are missing the corporate job ki kash wapas chale jaye. That's not what it is. We are enjoying it, and you want to do it every day, and therefore you find ways so that you keep surviving, you keep fighting. That's how the spirit that comes along.
Great, thank you. One, last question, and I want everyone to be quick. Then we'll open the floor for 2 questions to the audience. So starting from you. So if you're sitting here or there after 20 years in this place, what is that what people will talk about, that what was the ecosystem which has been created? So what are your thoughts? What you want, what you see that will happen in the next 20 years in Jharkhand, specifically in the startup ecosystem? Quickly, and then.
That's a very good question. After 2 startups, currently I'm running a non-profit called Shifu Foundation, and it is focused on helping early stage founders grow. As simple as that. So if you are thinking of doing a startup, or if you are in your early stages and you need help, it's a non-profit. We provide you with connections, networks. We are building networks currently globally so that you can get the right kind of mentor. We also provide, of course, some grants so that you can get into it full time. And we also provide right kind of advice if possible, and find amazing people sitting here on stage to connect and work with iHub, Jharkhand Startup, and every other organization. We are trying to reach across India, but our focus right now is Jharkhand. And I hope that there are at least 100 people, minimum, from every district who would start a business and at least try and experiment with it. Maybe some of them will become successful, and my objective is to help each and everybody who is actually trying to struggle and implement this thought or have an idea that maybe I should do a startup. Then let's talk. I am here today, tomorrow, day after. I am here for next 2-3 days, and I am here to help anybody who's starting. And in next 20 years, I hope Jharkhand or Ranchi also becomes one of the major hubs of startup. There is no dearth of talent. There are lots of talented people from here who go outside. A lot of people are also coming back. And a lot of youngsters who are sitting right here who are very, very talented. So let's talk, and I'm really, really glad what Shubham and Manik and their team has done. It's awesome. I was born in Ranchi and I love what they're doing. So all the best.
So in next 20 years, what I see is there would be no segregation based on whether a founder is a male or a female, whether a founder is coming from a tier 2 city or a tier 3 city. So I suppose, like Kamaldeep sir has mentioned, that all the boundaries, at least geographical boundaries and all, is now vanishing, and in many cases it's now vanished. Last Mile Care is an organization. We are registered in Gurgaon. And the reason why we registered in Gurgaon to get that, that the organization is from Delhi NCR area. So it's like the impression or the kind of, the first picture that anyone sees about the organization is from Delhi NCR, and it must be working across the country, or it's a nationwide startup or something like that. But I am operating from Jharkhand. We are building it from a tier 2 city. And I hope, like, no one of us, whoever are sitting here, would speak about lack of exposure, lack of mentorship, or lack of understanding of basic important terms which are required to build a startup. So that is it. Thank you.
I'll answer the question with some numbers, and it aligns to Sir's questions in the front of the green T-shirt. I'm sorry. Can you please call him? It answers to your question also. It was a very interesting question that you asked. So some numbers. Roughly on an average in India, guess how many startups are registered on a daily basis, every day? Any rough guesses? How many startups are getting started every day? Any other guesses? 5,000? 300? The number is 190 per day. 190 startups are getting started. Guess how many are from Jharkhand? On an average, how many startups out of these 190 startups on a daily basis are getting registered? 5. 5 per day, roughly. Where is 190, 200, and where is... So that number must be more, thanks to Perplexity, it did the job for me to get those numbers, by the way. I didn't do the calculations. So what would happen? And now, because of the Gen AI wave, because of the Gen Z and the Gen AI, all these waves that are coming, a solopreneur is, as Mausi mentioned, the solopreneur is not difficult anymore. You will have agents working, and you will be a solopreneur running the startups. That will happen. That is what is going to happen in the next 20 years. So I want to see, at least from an India's perspective, India's GDP per capita is $2,500. In the next 20 years, the goal, Vishwabharat, if I have to really get to $10,000, places like Jharkhand, and that 5 number, if it becomes 100, then only a grassroots level innovation, grassroots level problems, when they get solved, that's where the real economy will start working out. So what Kamaldeep was saying, right? India 1, India 2, put it another way, there's an iPhone batch, that's the Gurgaon, Delhi's. There's a Samsung batch, that's your Hyderabad, Pune's. And there's a JioPhone batch, which is Jharkhand. So the Bharat, problems of Bharat, solving problems ground up in your own local languages, for your own locality, is the name of the game, and that's what I want to see in Jharkhand to happen.
I have a very, very simple wish. Most of the vendors that we deal with come from outside Ranchi. Whether my software guy, whether be my digital marketing guy, whether be the equipments guy, I have to keep running around to all of these different good entrepreneurs, good companies, but from across the country. I hope a lot of them are in Ranchi, and I don't have to keep running around to other parts of the country to get simple works done. Thank you.
Great. So we have time for 2 quick questions from the audience. So, apna naam boliye and ask the person you want to ask the question. So, if somebody can circulate the mic, please.
Hello. Yeah, so my name is Arvind Soren, and I'm actually in my first year. So the question is very simple. Just think of it like you are at an initial stage and you want to start a startup, and it's an era of AI. But you don't have actually connections with others. And you have idea, brilliant idea, but you don't have people, and you are just yourself. You don't know, you know that you can do it, but it's an initial stage. Then what you are going to do? How you are going to do? What's the initial you are going to take up so that it can actually grow in 5 or 2 years later, and it would be beneficial for you too? It's an open-ended question. Anyone can answer it.
You should just start experimenting. Stop thinking so much in advance. Just start experimenting. It's not that the first idea you make will be successful. It's possible that you will make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 things, and maybe one of them will pick up. Also, I would strongly suggest read about Bhanu Teja. Bhanu Teja is a solopreneur from Nellore. I've met him, I've talked to him. He's a introvert, doesn't talk much, but he's very active on Twitter. And he learned how to create products. He created multiple products and failed many, many times. Finally, he created Feather, which got sold for 2.5 million. He is one person, and it's not that success came to him immediately. He made many things, like as you said, you can in today's era. He made many, many products and failed many, many times. So I would suggest you read his story, and maybe that's the journey you need to start taking. Since you are just in first year, you can experiment, right? So continue to discover until you discover the problem that actually needs solved and somebody is willing to pay for it. As simple as that. पैसे चाहिए ना? तो ऐसा चीज़ बनाना है जो बिक भी सके. तो वो तो ढूंढने के लिए थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, बट आप बनाना तो शुरू करो. सोचना बंद कर दो, बनाना शुरू करो. पढ़ते पढ़ते करो. इसके लिए जो पढ़ाई छोड़नी ज़रूरी नहीं है ना?
Okay, like, is it?
One point. ChatGPT is your co-founder. ChatGPT is your co-founder. That's your next teammate that you need to hire. One. Second, you don't buy talent at this stage. You have to attract talent. So that means you need to create something. You need to manifest something where it's some kind of a workable thing that you're working for a smaller niche, so that you can attract talent, even if it's not full-time, part-time. So don't wait for full-time people to come to you. Even if it is beg, borrow, and stealing 1 hour of a tech lead on a Saturday is still a huge advantage at this stage.
Okay, like we are here, like...
I'm sorry to cut you. You can speak to them offline after this panel, because let's allow others to get... So anyone else who has
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. I was listening all of the speaker, and when the sir said, sir went actually bankrupt, but still he continued. And here sir said, do not accept the reality. From ma'am's side, the journey can become very lonely. And from the ma'am this side, one more comment was that, access your current situation to be in reality. What can I figure out that you guys are talking about the mental toughness? So can I get each comment from all of your panel, how this mental toughness play a role in this long journey? One comment from each.
We are just humans like you. We came from one of the audiences. I don't think there is hugely different, and I don't think there is very special about any of the founders' mental toughness. You learn through the journey. When you are in it, you learn how to fight with it. And not all startups become successful. That does not mean that those that are not successful did not work hard. There's a lot of chance, luck, timing involved in it. So it's not that we are superhumans or something, no. We are just like people like you who one day thought we need to do something different, and we just started it. And maybe one day you will be right here where we are.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so like Mosmi said, so I think each and every job is tough. You need, sorry?
Yeah, ma'am, continue.
Yeah, so you need to be tough even doing your daily chores. So that is fine. It's just about how much you want to do or go ahead with the journey. What is the subject that you are working on is something you are passionate about. So it completely depends on what do you want. Like sir said, salary is an addiction. I think for us, entrepreneurship is an addiction. So it's about what do you want to do in your life.
Thank you, ma'am.
For me personally, my self-motivation comes from the vision that I keep on refining on a daily basis. So you need to have some crystal clear vision on a problem and how you want to solve that problem. And the more clarity you have about that vision, motivation comes on its own. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but at least you need to have something, begin with the end in mind. You need to have some end that is motivating you.
Thank you, sir. Can I get
one last question? You have this, this one quick one.
Hello. First of all, thanks a lot for sir time and coming here. And startup has given us to speak anything. I just want to know that when a startup starts after 2 years, 10 years, or 15 years, when a company that valuated at 100 crore, 200 crore, 500 crore, at that moment of time, why and what we think that why we sell instead of selling, why we cannot continue it? Why make it 500 crore? Why make 1,000 crore? Why we sell it at 600 crore only? Because when at the starting stage, we know that our startup is the best. We can do the best. We can win the entire world. At last selling point, what comes in that mind that we are bound to sell? Means some experiences, if you can share from your side. And Muswani ma'am, I'd really like to need some mentor from you, if it is possible for you.
I'm here, please. We can talk offline, no problem.
Oh,
the question that you asked, I think it needs to be understood in different contexts, right? When you sell the company, there are various parameters. I don't think we can answer that in 1 minute, of why you choose to sell at certain stages and why you would choose to continue running a company for a long time. One of the reasons, of course, and a very simple reason, is you also want to make money sometime, right? I'm being very, very straight. You want to make money because you've been working for so many years and you want to make good money in your account. That's one of the reasons. Second is, of course, startup is not a solo journey, right? There are co-founders, there are investors, there are other stakeholders, and there is also the destiny of the company. So if acquisition is the right destiny of the company, where your company can scale much larger, that's one of the decisions. You could also find a better home for your company and your employees. That's another decision. And of course, making money is one of the decisions. You can also continue to run. None of the decision is wrong. It is right for that particular situation. So we cannot have a blanket statement on top of that. Everyone has their own reasons.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
सर
Can we do an offline question because there's
नहीं सर, एक मेरा सर क्वेश्चन ये है सर, हम सभी इस ऑडिटोरियम में लगभग से बहुत सारे यूथ आए हुए हैं, और सर हमारे मन में जब जो बात चलती है, तो मैं मानता हूँ कि जो मेरी मन में चल रही है और भी यूथ के मन में ये बात चलती होगी। सर मेरा मानना है कि जो हम किसी कंपनी के अंदर काम करते हैं 8 घंटा 10 घंटा उसमें हम टाइम देते हैं, और सवाल मतलब मन में आता है जिज्ञासा कि अगर हम जो कंपनी के अंदर हम जितना मेहनत करते हैं, अगर हम अपनी स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट करें, शुरुआत करें, और जितना समय हम 10 घंटे 12 घंटे देते हैं, उस जगह पे अगर हम खुद की स्टार्टअप में अपनी अगर टाइम दें, तो शायद हम जो मतलब एक अपने कंपनी खड़ा कर सकते हैं, माहौल बना सकते हैं, और जो हमारे आसपास के लोग हैं उनको हम वहाँ पे रख करके अच्छा जॉब दे सकते हैं। फिर जब फिर ये चीज़ हमारे पास पैसे नहीं हैं, हमारे पास फंड नहीं है, फिर हम कैसे करेंगे? फिर हम क्या करते हैं कि फिर उसी चीज़ में हम अपना जो हमारे अंदर जो कैपेसिटी है, फिर हम उसी में इन्वॉल्व रखते हैं, और फिर धीरे धीरे हमारे जो है उसी में दब करके रह जाते हैं, अपने आप को एक्सप्लोर नहीं कर पाते हैं। तो ये सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि अगर हम इस फील्ड में आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, तो हमें गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से फिर कहाँ से हम सपोर्ट लें जो हमें इस तरह का फंडिंग फिर और भी चीज़ों का सपोर्ट मिल सके?
अगर अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर है तो हम लोग रास्ता तो खुद ढूंढ लेंगे। हमें सरकार के ऊपर निर्भर होने की उतनी ज़रूरत नहीं है जितना हमको लगता है। अच्छे बिजनेसमैन आज से नहीं, दशकों से लोग अपना बिजनेस खड़ा करते, स्टार्टअप टर्म आने के पहले भी और आगे भी करते रहेंगे। शायद सरकार को इन्वॉल्वमेंट की ज़रूरत नहीं है। जहाँ तक आपका पहला कमेंट था, एम्प्लॉय वर्सेस बीइंग एन एंटरप्रेन्योर, अभी इसके पहले कमलदीप जी ने बिग बाज़ार के बारे में बात कर रहे थे। बिग बाज़ार एक बहुत बढ़िया कंपनी बनी और कोविड में अचानक बंद भी हो गई। तो और आप अगर बयानी साहब का उसके बाद के जितने भी कमेंट्स देखें तो आपको बहुत बुरा लगेगा जो उनको तकलीफ़ें झेलनी पड़ रही है बिग बाज़ार बंद होने के बाद। तो कई बार एम्प्लॉय होना बड़ी आरामदायी ज़िंदगी होती है। सर यहाँ पे बैठे यूएस में थे, गूगल में थे, वो ज़िंदगी कहीं ज़्यादा आरामदायी थी वर्सेस जब उन्होंने बिज़नेस स्टार्ट कर लिया। पर अगर इच्छा है तभी करें, और वो रिस्क लेने की क्षमता होनी चाहिए, वो एटीट्यूड होना चाहिए कि हाँ अगर फेल हो गए तो भी ठीक है। ज़रूरी नहीं है कि एंटरप्रेन्योर बन के आप एम्प्लॉय से बेटर हो जाएंगे, बिल्कुल भी ज़रूरी नहीं है।
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all our panel discussion guests. I would like to request our panel guests to stay back for the media bites. And now for our audience, how many of you want to raise funds? कितने लोग यहाँ पे हैं जो फंड रेज करना चाहते हैं? आई थिंक द लास्ट क्वेश्चन दैट वी हैड अभी वाज अबाउट फंड रेजिंग, कि सब कुछ हमने सुन लिया, स्टार्टअप है, इनोवेशन है, पैशन है, टेक्नोलॉजी है, बट फ्रॉम वेयर डू यू गेट द फंड्स? बिकॉज टू स्टार्ट अ कंपनी, टू रन द कंपनी एंड टू स्केल अ कंपनी, यू नीड फंड्स. सो नाउ वी विल बी मूविंग फॉरवर्ड विद द लंच ब्रेक. लंच ब्रेक के बाद when you are going to come back, we are going to have the most important topic to be discussed, that is investment and with the investors. So let's go for a quick energizer and come back more energized and with more power. और स्वच्छ भारत का ध्यान रखते हुए we will make sure that we use the dustbin areas.
So I request Pratik Dev sir to come on the stage. Rishabh Agarwal sir, please come on the stage. Rajiv Jain sir, please come on the stage.
So to all the young entrepreneurs in the house, when you go for lunch, make sure that you make new connections and you're back with more ideas and with more connections. We will be waiting for all of you, and let's quickly come back after the lunch break. And you can collect your food packets from the food stalls near the tea stall, and you can use the lawn area, that is the garden area, to have your lunch.
I'll also request Mr. Sringar Bansal to please come on the stage. Mr. Abhijit Nair from Campus Fund, please come on the stage. Mr. Asutosh Kumar, please come on the stage. We already have Rishabh sir. We'll have a sort of small media interaction. Okay.
अमन भाई करो स्टार्टअप, प्लीज कम. Please proceed for lunch. We will back by 2:30.
I request everyone, please move forward. We are moving forward with the lunch. आप लोग को बिल्कुल मौका मिलेगा बात करने का, डिस्कशन करने का, फोटोज क्लिक करने का. But you know, the second half is going to be full of excitement and lot of important discussions in the second half. So you need to be energized for that. तो जल्दी से लंच के लिए जाएंगे और स्वच्छ भारत को ध्यान में रखते हुए वापस जल्दी से आ जाएंगे. We are all waiting for you.
you.